You are short $1,400 each month that you are working. How did I come up with that? Well, let's jump into video and welcome back to the channel. I am talking about your monthly income, and I think America has an affordability crisis. And why is that? Well, I made a video yesterday or the day before where I talked about how many Americans are struggling to just make ends meet. They can't pay for cars, they can't do things. So I started looking into it, and I got some interesting numbers to share. So let's look at the housing cost. So the average American spends about almost $1,800 on housing. And it doesn't really specify if it's renting, owning, but that's just the average. So quick Google search will confirm that. Google kind of spits out a few numbers, but this is kind of the average that it takes. So you got housing covered, 1,800. So now we need transportation, and that is about $819 a month. Seems low if you have a car, seems high when you do public transportation. So yeah, I can't, really see how $819 is in there. But if you get a car payment now, I think they start at like $700 used, so or new, and $500 used. So yeah, kind of fits, right? So this is where I don't think that the numbers are accurate, because it says it needs food is $660 a month. That's what Americans are spending on food. I think depending on where you live, that is just way too low. I think people spend, depending on how much family it is, let me know in the comments below if you spend more on groceries than that. Because I think $650, that is not a lot of money anymore for spending at the grocery store. Me and Allison alone, I think, spend about 800 or more, because and we don't even go shopping at at we shop at Trader Joe's. And I used to be able to check out at Trader Joe's for like $60-$70 a cart, like a hand basket full. Now they costed me like 100. So, and we go like twice a week. I'd hardly eat out, so we spend somewhere about, that's for two people, somewhere around there. And now the one that I thought was way, way off is utilities. And this is for utilities, electric, water, gas, as well as phone, internet, is approximately $320. I don't think that that is anywhere near close what people are paying. I think now, for just my internet, but I work from home, I use it for different things. I pay $140 for my internet. And without the max upload thing, because I do use it, it's like $100 a month for just internet. And then I have two cell phone lines. Then I have, yeah, with connectivity and all that. So I don't know how that would go, because it is bloody expensive to have a cell phone plan. And I don't know anybody that kind of uses these like low cost carrier like Mint, or anybody else that says like, oh, you can get a phone plan for $25. Well, yeah, you can, but how great's the coverage? I have Verizon and I don't have hardly coverage at all. So now another big expense is healthcare. The average expense on healthcare is $415 a month. Surprisingly low. I thought that was low, because healthcare is such a huge thing, and some of it is included in your paycheck, I think, if you work. So I'm not 100% sure on this one, but yeah, that's what it says. The insurance. This category covers like homeowners, rental insurance, life insurance is $237. I also think that that is not accurate. If you live in a state where, and now with all these tornadoes going on, I think $230, that is nothing. Because I don't know if they calculated in here the excluding healthcare. Yeah, so this must be car insurance too. But car insurance is expensive now. I just watched this other guy on YouTube, and he has a smart car, and he's paying $200 a month. I don't even know what my insurance is. I think it's $1,400 for two cars for 6 months, something like that. So it's $3,000 a year. And then I have an umbrella policy and all that. So my insurance is way, way higher than other people's. So But hey, that's what it says. Then we come to entertainment. Americans spend roughly $270 on entertainment, including streaming services, movies, ticket, and other leisure activities. Um, I feel like that's not a lot of money. I feel like $270 to go out and do things and have fun for entertainment. I $270 for going out to movies. I went to an IMAX movie and it was like for $50 for, I don't know if it was for, I think for two people it's $25 or something. Then yeah, because I'm in Vegas, I got free parking. I know you can get the subscription model for like Movie Pass or something, where you just watch movies. But I don't know if this in here also includes like Netflix, and if you have TV, YouTube TV alone is like $80 now. So I don't know how they come up with 270, because everything that has to do with streaming is expensive. Clothing, monthly on clothing is 150. I also think that is really, really low, because what is 150? So I'm a big fan of Costco. I get all my shoes from Costco. I get most of my clothes at Costco. I think I'm not that a flashy guy as you might see me on the videos. The only thing I do spend money on is my hats and glasses and kind of tech devices. I just not a flashy guy for that kind of stuff. So to spend $150 is funny, because my shoes that I used to buy at Walmart were the Adidas, and they were about $29 a pair. And now, all of a sudden, I went to check last week or so, and it was $39. So it had a huge jump in prices for my shoes, and I was like, what is going on? So 150 does not seem like a lot. And then education. For those with education expenses, the average monthly outlay can be around $117. I think that is small. I don't think that is any debt payments or any student loans or anything else. So 117 for education. I don't think you get a lot for 117 in education. Education is so expensive, way too overpriced. So I'm interested to see what $117 would entail. So that is really, really, really interesting, right? So before I go over what the total was, I have it right here. Check out this gorgeous view in Santa Cruz here. It is so pretty. Check out this gorgeous view. It was rainy too. Okay, are you ready for the total? The total for all of these expenses came up to $5,458. If AI did the correction, if AI did the math right, let me know in the comments if it didn't. And now we're at a dilemma, because the average American pay ranges from take home is $3,500 to $4,000. So what does that mean? That means you are short a whopping $1,500 each month. Where's that gonna go? So if you're negative with a full-time job, you need to deliver pizzas to make ends meet. You need to do other types of jobs to kind of make up for it. And that is, in this time, is really, really hard. Everything went up. And now I got a question for you. Do you think that these companies are going to bring the prices down? I don't think the prices come down. Prices most never come down. Yeah, they'll give you discounts. And I've seen on car dealerships, I've seen that they'll give you a discount for the car for 10%, off of MSRP. But that isn't going to matter if you're going to have problems with getting a loan, because the loan is 14%. So taking out a loan on a car is not going to be doable, because even at a 10%, 15% discount of the MSRP, that's just not going to be doable for you, because the interest rate's so high and banks don't want to lend because the repo rate's so. So it's a catch-22, and then the downward pressure on manufacturers there, but nobody's gonna nobody wants to buy more expensive cars, but then car manufacturers can't really sell them cheaper either, because people can't get qualified for the loans. So it's a whole big dilemma. So what do you do with the $1,500 that you're upside down in? Well, you got to put it on a credit card. You got to figure out somehow. But just because you put on a credit card right now doesn't mean that you can put on a credit card next month, because you'll keep racking up the debt. So what you got to do, you got to cut the expenses or increase the income. So there's two options for you: decrease the expenses or increase the income. What's really hard right now is to increase the income, because it is so crazy to do when you have um no other opportunities, because companies are laying off people like crazy. So you're in a catch 22 where companies are laying people off and you're trying to increase your income because you're living so high. And when I go back to the utilities are so expensive. My gas bill 2 years ago, and I have a gas heater, so I heat my house with gas. Yes, it's 3,000 square feet, so it's a huge house. But my gas bill 2 years ago was $68, everything included. This year, I had a $200 gas bill, and I didn't even hot tub with the gas heater. So there are big problems when it comes to hot tubbing, to paying the utilities on your house, because you're going to have problems. You're going to have a bunch of problems because it just skyrocketed. And they said, oh, we're going to increase the rate hike and all that kind of stuff. So it's almost like you need to get energy independence for your house so you can kind of get ahead in life and do the stuff that you want to do. Because I feel like the American dream is also dying on us, of, owning a house, doing your own thing. I feel like, and I've seen this a lot on TikTok and other social media platforms, where on Facebook and whatnot, that people work their asses off, and as soon as they're like 45, have some money saved, a few $100,000 saved, they'll say, I'm done. Then with America, they're moving to a place where the cost of living is so much cheaper, so they can actually retire and do something with their lives, and not work every day and start a business in Thailand or do something else. And I was there 6 months ago, and the tour guide was from Europe, and said, "Oh, I do these tours twice a week, pays for all of my bills, and I had some money left over from my job I left that I saved up for so many years, and now I live healthier. I'm gonna live longer because I don't have the stress, and I just hang out in Thailand." And I get it, and I see how that can be so lucrative if if you're trying to do that. But most people have families, they can't leave, they're gonna have wife, kids, and all that. So you're in the rat race again. And it is so hard to make a living in this economy where everything is expensive and none of the prices come down. And I don't think they're gonna come down. There's just It's just not going to happen. And if the prices come down, the price of lending goes up. And so you're back to square one, and you just shouldn't have done it. Or they shouldn't have increased the rate hike so much. Yeah, we're in a true catch 22. So if you are struggling right now, I don't think you're alone. I think we're all in this together. And it's going to be really interesting to see how this is going to pan out. Elections are around the corner. Maybe something will happen. Maybe they'll get inflation under control and prices come down and companies start hiring again. I don't see it. Like and subscribe for this video, and I will see you in the next one.